Hey guys, anybody want to do a little roof inspection real quick? Got a good one for you. Residential home in Edmond, Oklahoma. Wanted to do this video to show the effects of hail long term. Everyone sees the hailstorm come through. We're all used to seeing that multiple times a year. We get big ones that cover the whole city, sometimes little spotty ones, sometimes the ones that bring in every roofer within a 10-state area. Sometimes small storms that only bring in just your local hometown guys like myself and a few other great companies that are around here locally. And regardless of how big the storm is, it's all about how big the hail was. So this is a 50-year GAF. Probably at this age, this roof looks like it's probably about over 15, somewhere between 15 and 18 years old. 50-year roof, so it's definitely a good quality shingle. And this thing has seen its better days, and it could have used a few less hailstorms on it. So we have a multitude of things going on here that's compromised the shingle. The biggest one, you see these marks over here, and there's really should be marks everywhere. I just kind of found it pointless to mark every single thing. I'd run out of chalk pretty quick. But the shingle has its own problems from the manufacturer. Looks like it's got some outgassing. These are called blisters. That's where the asphalt just gets way too hot from the heat in the attic, and asphalt starts in a liquid form, and when it gets hot enough, it turns right back towards that liquid form. And this roof actually got hot enough to liquefy some of the chemicals in that asphalt, and it created a bubble, and it burst, and it leaves a hole. It's the importance of ventilation. Now, you see all this right here, we have ridge vent, a lot of ridge vent on this house. Shouldn't, if this was done properly, and it's actually accessed to the attic, and they actually have soffit vents in the overhangs, should have plenty of ventilation. Over the years, just like anything, you need a little maintenance. Some of the bellows get clogged up. Everything's a little clogged up in there. This doesn't seem to be working properly, and the shingles are telling that story. But that's not an insurable damage. It's not an insurable loss. Insurance company will tell you, tough luck. Your roofer put your roof on incorrectly and your ventilation is not correct. Which they're right. Something is not working right on this roof with the ventilation aspect. But this hail dent, look at this. So with that little white fiber you see there, that's fiberglass mesh. And you got asphalt on both sides of that. You got the granules on top. And these little rocks, these little granules they call them, this is what protects that black asphalt that we were talking about that liquefies. That's what protects that asphalt from the sun's heat and the UV rays, because the asphalt is not UV stable. UV stable meaning it cannot handle the sun. It cannot handle the rays of the sun. So once these granules are knocked off in a circular pattern from about a golf ball size hit, it looks like there, and years go by with sun and hot and cold, that's a hole all the way through that shingle. All the way through that shingle, that's a hole. So you got another hole. Got a nail actually pushed through this hole. You got blisters, which are gonna get bigger and worse. Kind of like rust on a car. You get a classic car, you get rust, and it's just like the cancer to the most beautiful prized possession, the beautiful car. And then you get the same thing once you get these granules knocked off this roof. It's going to become rust, and it's going to start eating away, and it's going to get worse and worse. The issue that most consumers make on this, evaluating your roof damage, let me tell you, when I pulled up to this house, I could not tell that this roof was damaged. I could tell it was older. I could tell that it needed something. It was definitely of some age, but I could not tell even those holes from the ground with the trained eye, could not tell that those were actually hail damaged shingles. So when a hailstorm comes through, how many times you ever heard of free roof inspection? Well, guess what? This guy is well past his 1 year that a lot of these carriers in Oklahoma are pushing, a 1 year deadline from data loss. Data loss meaning, when did this happen? If there has not been a hailstorm in this area, well, regardless if there's been a hailstorm, any adjuster is going to see these holes in this asphalt and know that did not fabricate itself in 1 year. Rust on a car does not eat a hole through a panel in 1 year. It's definitely a length of time process that it has to go through. You got it all the way out here. You got chunks missing, holes, blisters, granules falling off. You got wind damage, split right through that shingle because the shingles underneath it got lifted and it laid right back down. So that's actually wind damaged shingle. Some more here, just falls right off. So more wind damage. This is all the way creased. More wind damage here, all the way through. So these shingles have had a hell of a ride and tell a hell of a story, that's for sure. And from the ground, they look fine. Customer has no leaks. Everyone thinks life is good, right? Well, life could get real bad for this homeowner financially. Look at this roof. Look how big this roof is. This is a nice, beautiful home in Deer Creek. Big, beautiful detached garage, which appears to have a newer shingle on it. He may be getting some bad news. He knows he needs a new roof. He knows it's probably not in great shape. He knows he's had hailstorms on it. Look at the story on here. All that hail. Lots of hail damage on there. And he's going to call his insurance company out. And depending on how nice they are and when his policy was written and what the terms are in it, they might tell him tough rocks. I don't know about you, but I would roll over dead if I had to pay 100% out of pocket to replace this roof. Quick rule of thumb here, I'm looking at size and the decking issues underneath that are going to be ran into, whether you pay cash for it or you get an insurance claim on it. The deck's got to be replaced on this. You're pushing 40 grand. I mean, all because he did not get a free roof inspection. He did not have someone professionally come up, do a photo report. Every inspection that we do is a photo report. We put arrows, we put circles. We make it to where a 3-year-old could look at these photos and identify the damage that we're finding. Now, it's just a matter of trusting the guy on your roof. You have the rip-off roofers, you got the fly-by-nights. They make our jobs very difficult. It makes it very difficult for us to talk to customers because of all the scams and the rip-offs out there. And knowing that you don't have someone on your roof that is fabricating some damage. Look at that. That's definitely had a leak there, So if you are going to get a free roof inspection and they're not going to give you a photo report, they don't have the proper tools, they don't have the truck and ladder, they don't have local presence, or even if they're not local, they don't have references to provide to you, why would you let them on your roof? Why would you trust them? Oh yeah, just open a claim. Got nothing to lose, right? Ask your agent if you got nothing to lose if you open a claim and it pays $0. It's not good. Check out this. Woo! Isn't that beautiful? When we install a roof, we offer our customers free annual inspections for stuff like that, stuff you don't see every day. Get on that roof every year. Most people put up Christmas lights. That's a great time. Clean those gutters out. Do your maintenance. Make sure your trees are not rubbing on the roof. He's got everything cut back. He looks good. Other than just some old shingles. And this may be an issue for this guy, but you know what? We're gonna go to bat for him. We're gonna meet that adjuster. We're gonna photo document everything that we find on this roof that is not a manufacturer defect, that is not caused from angry squirrels. Everything that's not an install issue. We're gonna pull weather reports for this address going back 3 or 4 years to try to prove that within a benefit of a doubt, this hailstorm could have happened to this house sooner than later. And there could be newer hail mixed in with this old hail damage, that we can focus the adjuster's attention on the newer hail that's not as obvious and try to put blinders on to this older hail. More wind, all this wind damage, a little hail bruiser, more snap, crunch, very, very brittle. Look at that. Look at how brittle these are. A new shingle, you can roll it up like a piece of paper. Let it go and it'll lay flat. It doesn't snap off like that. Obviously your trees are taking a toll and need maintenance here all along this wall. These sticks falling are just like hail. They can hit like a, fall in there like a spear or a dagger, puncture a hole. Very important to maintain this every year. If we can get this guy a new roof and he becomes a customer, we'll come out here every year, inspect it for tree damage. Put a little side note in the work order. It says, hey, bring a leaf blower. It'll take you 5 minutes to blow this guy's gutters out and blow off these raised elevations on this roof. That's all you gotta do for a customer. What does it cost us? Not a thing. Just a little neighborly thing to do and be mindful of what the customer's dealing with. We see it now. Of course we know it's going to do that every year. So why would we not put this guy in a free inspection, free maintenance program for the next couple of years just for doing business with us, so he doesn't have to deal with that again. So he doesn't deal with all these blisters again. So we have to deal with these clogged gutters. You know, working him a good deal on some leaf screens might change his whole outlook for living underneath a big tree. So give us a call if we can help you. Nick Spose with ACS, 405-751-1195. Have a good day. Stay healthy.